This is The Spot, a BYU-Idaho production where we talk about what you're talking about at BYU-Idaho. Today's hosts are Robert Harris,
Jesse Pruitt,
Noah Timpson,
and special guest,
Nate Williams.
The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or of the university and are solely the opinions of the host. Welcome to the podcast, gentlemen.
What's up?
Yeah.
So you're going to notice real quickly that your normal host is not here because we kicked her out because this is boys only today. Yeah, so usually Celeste sits here, but we decided to, since girl media was only the girls, we're going to do boys, so it's only the boys.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
So this should be fun. It's going to be pretty chill. We're just going to talk about what we're currently listening and watching and consuming, and maybe talk about what we used to consume as kids, because I know that in the original, the girl media, they talked about mostly about what they used to watch and do, so we're gonna do that as well. But yeah, I guess we'll start off with what TV do you guys watch TV? Because I know a lot of people nowadays aren't doing straight up TV.
Yeah, it's like streaming channels now.
Yeah,
I think it really has changed. I personally don't watch TV anymore. I used to, which I can get into that later, but yeah, it's really just streaming platforms and whatever.
yeah, for real.
I feel like the majority of what I watch is on YouTube or social media. I feel like TV has definitely taken a backseat. I still have a few shows that I watch, but definitely not consistently. So most of it's just coming from YouTube, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely stopped watching TV probably around middle school. I don't know. There was just a big switch off from TV to YouTube. I feel like every kid watched only TV, but I guess once YouTube got popular, that's when everyone switched over. Yeah. What did you watch when you were young? Because I'm assuming you all did watch TV when you were younger.
You guys remember Kids Next Door?
Oh
my
heck yeah.
gosh,
Oh,
yes.
it's my favorite show.
Codename Kids Next Door.
Yes, sir. What was your favorite number?
I didn't watch that show a lot, but I do remember watching it. I think, man, that's a hard question because they're all really different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the big kid. I don't remember his name. What number he was?
He was
The bigger kid. Is he 4?
number 2?
Or
Wait.
2? No, I think I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers.
He was like the engineer almost, right?
Yeah.
I like the little kid. I think he was
The
number-
one in orange?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a cool kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Did you guys watch it or any other shows?
Oh yeah, I definitely watched that. Let's see, I'm trying to think of any others. I know later on as a teenager, I know this came out in the 90s, but Batman the Animated Series
Oh yeah.
from 92. Whew.
Yeah.
That's just straight fire right there. So.
I've been meaning to watch that on my own time now because everything's on streaming services now, so
Right.
it's easy to watch. All right, I have to ask because this was my favorite show growing up. I was a SpongeBob kid, and I know a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people who go to this school are always like, "My parents didn't let me watch it."
I was one of those kids.
I was also one of those.
I don't
kids.
understand it because it wasn't that bad.
Well,
There were so many other worse shows.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I totally watched SpongeBob, so
Okay, thank
you.
you.
If I've lost brain cells, you can probably tell. So you know.
Yeah, the two maniacs in the show are the ones who watch SpongeBob.
No, I can actually answer that. I wasn't allowed to watch it because I would imitate him a lot. So just picture this. It's like Christmas holidays time, right? Or like around this time, I'm at my grandma's house and we just watched the episode where he rips his pants at the beach. And he's getting attention because of it. And my little kid brain is like, I want that attention. So I just start running up to all my relatives going, Grandma, look. And I just turn around and pretend to rip my pants. And that's what my mom said. Yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore.
That is awesome.
That's straight up gold.
Oh my gosh. I used to imitate him a lot, but I didn't rip my pants in front of my
Luckily, no pants were actually ripped in the process.
Did you just go?
Yeah, I just bend over in front of him. Just make a ripping sound.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I think it should be said that there were the shows that we were allowed to watch and the shows that we actually watched.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Not like I've never seen SpongeBob. I didn't grow up with cable, and so it just a lot of like the cartoons on Saturdays and things like that. Just when you're out of school, but every now and then when we're on vacation, we always loved when SpongeBob would appear on cable TV. So
Did you watch Scooby-Doo?
I did watch Scooby-Doo.
That's a classic.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, that was always the go-to staying home from school sick show.
Yeah.
I remember I used to get tonsillitis a lot back in elementary school, and that was the show I'd always watch.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's always on during the mornings, and yeah. Any other shows that you guys were your favorites when you were young?
Ooh, let's see. Danny Phantom was a good one.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
That was a good one.
Did you guys watch Fairly Odd Parents?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I recently went back on, I think it was Netflix, and started like rewatching it. It's actually pretty good.
It's a good show.
Mm.
Yeah, it's better than like I remember it being.
Yeah.
Like there's
Right.
some adult jokes in there that
yeah, they get creative.
I mean, I think a lot of shows at that time had a lot of adult jokes, and us kids didn't realize that. That's probably why the adults didn't want us to watch it, because they caught on to those jokes, but we didn't. So, yeah. What else? Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the shows at that time kind of shaped our humor today. 'Cause I think I have a lot of SpongeBob humor in my system.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I mean, we know our guest definitely does.
Yeah, from being
It's
in
in
his
my blood.
being from his class, I know that's for sure. Yeah. Are there any shows that you watch now that, I mean, they don't have to be old. They could be new shows, but that you've gone back on or are binge watching?
Well, for me, old habits don't die, so it is still Batman the animated series. I mean,
Heck yeah.
like I know as a kid I used to try to imitate Batman and be like, oh yeah, this is so good.
Batman.
Well, there's like this one classic line that I keep thinking of. It's like, Harvey, no. And it's like one of the most iconic lines in that show, I think, anyways. So, but yeah, it stuck with me, and I'm still a kid at heart. So
That's awesome.
When I was younger, I mean, I still think now too. Most of the shows that I watched were either about sports or about police, and so like in recent years I've watched like a fair amount of the TV show SWAT, which is pretty good. Or All American is one that came out a few years ago. It's about a high school football team in LA, and so those have been really good. But it just is so hit and miss for me now. I'll binge watch through a few episodes and then I don't watch for like 6 months and then come
Yeah.
back to it. So
I feel like that's always how it goes. Like I just need a break.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person, I don't watch that many TV shows on my phone. I'm a YouTube guy. So I'll if I'm watching something, it's gonna be YouTube. I'll watch the occasional Netflix stuff, but I'm not for binge watching TV shows unless it's ones I know I like. I've seen The Office, who knows how many times, and I'm that kind of person. Yes, I know.
Same.
Yeah,
But I
maybe
know
there.
it. I've seen it 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Parks and Rec. That's a great one too.
So good.
What about movies? Any movies recently? Did you guys see the new FNAF movie?
Of course.
I haven't seen it. I need to.
You haven't seen it? Okay,
No,
well,
I've been too busy
technically,
to go
off
to
the
the-
record, but on the record, I didn't see it in theaters. So
Oh. Is it already out on streaming services?
nope.
I thought it. Oh, did you?
It wasn't me. I just walked into my apartment and my roommate said, "Hey, we may or may not be watching the FNAF movie right now." And I said, "How's that possible? It came out yesterday."
That's awesome.
It was a good movie though. Like for what it is, I actually really liked it.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
What about you guys?
Movies.
I feel like a lot of people nowadays aren't. You either really like movies or you don't. Like,
it's so hard too because there's been so much delay with movies coming out and
yeah.
things where like even I haven't been paying attention to like all the new movies coming out. I think I'm really trying to think about the last movie that I watched. I wanted to go see, there was a new Mission Impossible movie, but I haven't
Oh, yeah.
seen that. I don't know if any of you
Mhm.
guys have seen that, but
No,
No,
I didn't
I'm
see
not.
that one.
I mean, I'm so easily entertained. I either love like stuff getting blown up. Like most people don't like Transformers. I like Transformers. You know, I don't have to pay attention that much, and I know who wins in the end. And you know, like it's
you man.
Yeah. So I feel like lately, some of my roommates have really put me on to like these Sandra Bullock rom-coms that I'd never watch out of my own. You know,
What's the one with Ryan Reynolds? Is it
There's a lot of movies.
Is it The Proposal?
I think so.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
proposal. Yeah, he is.
That's
in
the
that.
only one I know.
Yeah,
That
I
one's
think
good.
I've seen that.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like that. Just I'm always down to watch anything. I think when I was younger, I wouldn't watch certain genres, but like now, like I'll watch almost anything. But really have to be in the mood, I guess, to watch a movie. Commit to 3 hours, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, speaking of the delays, I have a friend who works in the movie industry, and you know that whole writer's strike that's going on. I think they actually just ended it like the other day. So
Really?
hopefully we can get some more
Nice.
movies and TV shows coming back, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about movies. I think we have to talk about Star Wars
Oh,
because that's kind of the go-to male movie.
course.
Not saying you women can't enjoy Star Wars. I'm just saying that us men have stake to claim on this.
This is our territory.
This is our territory. Get out. I know Jesse and we did a podcast for a class project last semester about Star Wars, which is always brought up between us. So I know we like it. What about you two?
Well, I just recently started watching the Clone Wars series for the first time. Because like
For the
I wanted,
first time?
yeah, for the first time.
Oh, you lucky soul.
Because like I wanted to watch it as a kid, and it was the same thing with like the last Avatar, or Last Airbender. I didn't want to like start in the middle somewhere, because we had cable. It wasn't like streaming services, right? And
You just
So-
watched what was on.
yeah, I just watched what was on, but now that I can actually go back, hit the first episode, go through the whole thing, I'm finally doing it, and I love it so far.
It's such a good show.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't watch it when it was on TV. I did watch it later.
Right.
But it's a masterpiece. And the movies are great.
Yeah.
I actually haven't really watched any of the new TV shows though.
Yeah.
They've been hit or miss.
Yeah. Same.
I liked the idea of Obi-Wan, but
Right.
it kind of got boring. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah?
gonna lie.
I haven't seen it yet. Honestly, with like all the new shows and movies, like I think I've just seen the first episode. No, first season of The Mandalorian,
Mm-hmm.
and then just everything else I haven't really touched.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched all the Mandalorian, and it was, there's things were hit and miss with that.
Yeah. I think the
Oh,
first two
I
seasons
agree.
were all right. I've seen the
Yeah.
first two.
The third one, yeah, I expected more, and
I think
it
that's
didn't happen.
that should be the motto of new Star Wars. It should have been more, especially the new movies. Oof.
Yeah.
Although I did start the new Ahsoka series a while back, I kind of dropped off a little bit because, yeah, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, yeah, it could be more. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
They-
a lot of it's pretty lackluster lately, and it's like they do a lot to like appeal to the fan base for sure, as far as characters and stuff like that. But as far as development and things like that, it just, yeah,
It's not hidden.
it's not there.
It's just not there.
It's not it, Coach.
Yeah, it's sad because the universe is just so expanded. Like, there's so much fan stuff about it that it could have been so good. A lot of the stuff now could be so good, but they're just Disney, man. Disney.
Right.
That's all I gotta say. Disney.
What was the first Star Wars movie you guys remember watching?
I grew up with the prequels.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I know my brother was big into it, so he got me to watch the original series. But prequels were always my favorite. Episode 3 is hands down the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Fight me over it. It's just true.
I don't know. I hold sentimental value to episode 1. So I
That's
say
true.
it's the best, even though it's not.
Yeah. Lego Star Wars, the game.
Oh heck yeah!
Ooh.
Who played it?
I played that on my Game Boy Advance.
Oh, I've played it. I used to play it on the Wii, the GameCube, and the new one that came out. I played that, and that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
That's a great one. And I remember there was like Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Oh.
What about you, Noah?
Honestly, just I don't hate me for this, but I've seen like the originals when I was like a kid, but I have such a short attention span, and so long movies are hard for me. But I watched all the originals, and I enjoyed them as a kid. But I think now I personally just I don't follow it as much. But
That's fair.
I had a good exposure as a kid, and I liked them. So
Yeah, I mean, the series now is definitely different than it was. What about video games?
Oh,
who
boy,
who
video
does play
games.
video games?
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
'cause I know
yeah,
Not as much as I used to, but yeah, definitely still do.
I wish I could say it died off since I was young, but no, it's still going strong. What do you guys? What's your game of choice?
for me, Madden. I love football, so me and one of my buddies, he used to go here, but he moved back to California. We would every Sunday. I mean, we didn't watch football on Sunday, but we sure played Madden on Sunday.
Hey man,
So I like Madden, Call of Duty. When I was young, I used to. I mean, this probably date me, but like Need for Speed or
Oh, yeah.
some of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
some of those games. I haven't played too much of like Forza or anything like that, but I do love like racing games. Once again, I like things that low commitment, so wasn't ever like super into like role playing games or like super long games, but just anything where I can be really competitive for a short 30 minutes. I'm all about that.
yeah, I definitely did racing games when I was young. I mean, I still sometimes, but yeah, was less of the racing, more of the like simulation, role playing, stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of same here. Like,
Yeah.
I think like my best friend was really into racing games, and he had like the whole wheel attachment thing too. So I'd go over and we'd do that a couple times. But yeah, like for me, it was like a lot of Minecraft,
Oh,
Call of Duty,
don't get me started.
Destiny, stuff like that.
Destiny, that's a good one.
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront, at least the originals.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh,
Of course, not trying to get on the back on the Star Wars track. But,
it always
Dude.
goes back.
It all
And-
ties
oh,
together.
it's all coming together now. That and of course, being a kid, I loved the Lego games, all of
Mhm.
those. So obviously the Star Wars ones, but I also had
Lego Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
That,
Oh,
that
yes,
one's
I did that on
so
the
good.
Wii.
True.
Oh my gosh.
and also had like the Lego Batman
Oh,
games. Of course, now that I'm like back on a Batman streak, I'm like, ooh, let's revisit this thing here. So
I literally played through the first two Lego Batman games like 3 weeks ago because
Really?
I have them on my computer and they're just as good as member.
I know they're so good. I mean, yeah, the graphics have definitely aged a little bit with especially that first one, but
Yeah,
it's so nostalgic.
Lego Batman 2 is a sleeper. That one's really good because it's got a whole open
Mhm.
world,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which was
It's an open world?
yeah,
Dang.
which is crazy for a Lego game at
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah, it was pretty, and it was the first time that the characters could actually talk, and so
Yeah.
like, they actually had actual dialogue and stuff like that. So
It was really
pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah. What was your first console?
Oh, now I have to think.
Because I know I started with the GameCube, roughly. I mean, there was a lot of different ones my family had. We had the PSP, the GameCube, PS2.
Mine went from Nintendo 64
Oh,
to Xbox 360, and after that, we didn't get any more consoles.
Yeah.
So it was just like whenever I go to my friends' houses, we'd jump on the Xbox, and that was it for a long
Xbox
time.
360 was.
Did you
like-
have the white one or black one?
The black one.
Yeah. But yeah, I had an Xbox 360, and then I got an Xbox One.
I guess I
Later.
forgot I had one of those. What was the Nintendo? It was the one that was
The
like little-
handhelds?
yeah, the
Oh, the
fold-out
flip
The
one.
Game
one.
Boy?
No, the flip. I had one of those.
I know what you're talking
and
about.
I don't remember
yeah.
the name. Like
yeah.
Nintendo.
Man, what was that?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
That is
I
such a niche
I
thing,
played
too.
one
It's
of
like,
on one of
Yeah.
those last year, and I played through the first Pokemon game.
Is it
I-
like on the square or is it the rectangle?
It's a square. and
square
it
that
Pretty
flips
sure
flips
up.
that's the Game Boy.
I think so.
Right.
SP,
Because
SP
I-
Game Boy. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Game
because
Boy
I have the
SP.
Game Boy Advance.
Yeah,
or
what do they
color.
call it? I think it was Game Boy SP.
Yeah, Game Boy
Probably.
SP.
Yeah, I had that. And
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
enough, I played Madden on that thing.
No
And they
way.
What?
There was like
How did that work?
the crappiest like version of Madden where like all the characters were like super like small
They're
and
just
like
dots.
yeah, and I still remember because it had a Blink 182 track when it would like load up, and so like you would just hear that when it would load, and it was just like EA. You'd see the EA, and then it'd load, and then you'd
That's awesome.
selection. It was really fun.
Huh.
Yeah, I played the Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue on that.
I had
Recently.
Pokemon Blue, but the cartridge didn't work.
That's a shame.
I know. I had other ones.
Pokemon's
though.
really good.
Let's see. I remember, at least with the Game Boy Advance, I played. Obviously Crash Bandicoot. I can't remember which one. It's been so long,
Mhm.
but definitely one of them. And there was a SpongeBob game that I also had. You could like bounce on bubbles and stuff like that. It was the funniest thing. But
Don't get me started on SpongeBob because I could go on a rant about my favorite game of all time being a SpongeBob game. Yeah.
Yeah, we might rip our pants, because of this.
Yeah,
or something,
go up
you
to
know.
our family and rip our pants. That's so crazy. I can't believe you did that.
That might have been the same Christmas that I got my Game Boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm sure you ripped your pants after that too.
I don't like karate. I like karate.
Karate. Heck yeah.
Oh, don't get me started. Like my roommates and I will just do SpongeBob quotes all day, but it's just the fish that screams. So we'll be like, my eyes! Just like walking down the hall and screaming, my drink! My diet Dr. Kelp!
He burnt my shake. Oh my gosh, dude, that show is just so quotable. It's so good. All right. Well, we do have a voice or a recording to play. So we're gonna play that real quick, and then we're gonna talk about it. So let's listen to this.
Yeah, so tell me, what boy media do you consume?
So I guess for guy media that I consume, I definitely watch a lot of Jordan Peterson. I think he's helped me a lot in my life with just getting my act together. For music-wise, I like listening to just so many things, gospel or rock or kind of like motivational music, kind of like, gym music that focuses on, just kind of getting up and doing things and being a man and feelings don't matter kind of thing. Like I'm legit. That's what I kind of listen to sometimes to get things going.
Perfect. Well, thanks very much.
That was a lot.
I think it's one of those things without saying like that, at least with social media nowadays, there's people always say what you see is your algorithm, right? So I don't know how much I play into that, but I do think that we do consume so much. Like he mentioned as well, Jordan Peterson, and I know like the school, at least in my experience with the comm department, they always quote him and always use Jordan Peterson. So seems like there's just a lot of motivational speakers or, influencers nowadays, and especially just in a culture of just, I guess kind of the loudest voice is always at the top. You always hear about certain people, whether or not they are good or bad, but you always hear these names going around. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How about you guys? What are like the motivational speakers, or like who do you like consistently see coming up in your feed telling you like you need to lose weight or you need to gain muscle? Or
I mean, I'm on my Instagram. I always get the gym motivational ones because I do like going to the gym, even though I don't do it as much as I should. I like, for those who know, Chris Bumstead. He's Mr. Olympia, 5-time winner. Let's go, Chris. He's one of the bodybuilders, biggest right now. So that's kind of who my area of what I see on Instagram.
Man, I'm trying to think. My Instagram's just a lot of memes.
That's true. Mine too.
On YouTube Shorts, though, for a while, there was this one guy called Anti-Prophet. He had like this really cool like mask that he would wear, so he like never showed his face, and he would just like give his opinion on all these different topics and issues that were happening around the world. And I thought it was pretty cool that because he would try to stay like almost as neutral as possible. Like I feel like he had more of like, I don't know, probably like a right-wing stance, but like you could tell he was trying to like show both sides like as clearly as possible and then just kind of stay in the middle. So I liked him.
Yeah. That's what I like about, like, I like people who don't bash on the other side just to bash. Like, I like people who take both sides into consideration and then give their own opinion.
Right.
I don't like people who just do it to be angry. There's so much anger today. I don't like it.
We need more giggles.
More giggles, more
we
laughs.
get giggles in the chat.
Oh yeah, speak memes. My sense of humor is broken from memes nowadays.
That's me in a nutshell too. Goodness.
It feels like that I communicate 95% with my friends via videos. Like we don't even say words unless it's like
Sending
over
reels.
the top. It's like, this is how I'm feeling today. Just a huge pancake. You know, like
Seriously.
it just doesn't make any sense.
The amount of reels I send is just. I recently actually deleted TikTok because I'm just like, I'm just done with TikTok and the people on there. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm getting rid of it. I don't need it. I used it for a long time, but I got rid of that and Twitter. Or sorry, X. So stupid.
X,
How could
formerly
you?
known as Twitter.
Thanks, Elon. What about music? Music's big for this generation of guys. I know that's for sure. Oof. I mean, I know you're talking about before the ad, or not the ad, the soundbite. How your game had, what was it, Blink 182?
Yeah, it did. I don't remember. I know the lyrics in my head, which I will not sing, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
It was on this game, but yeah, growing up, I listened to, like, my music has definitely shifted a bit. So growing up, my household was very musical, so I heard a lot of classical music from, like, my dad was a jazz pianist, but my sisters all played violin, so I had to sit through a lot of recitals and things that I know the songs, don't know the names, but I can hear them because I had, like I said, 3 sisters, and they all have to do an hour of violin practice a day.
Oh,
So I'd hear at least 3 hours a day for, since they were in kindergarten all the way through high school. But I grew up listening to a lot of alternative rock, like hip hop, not so much pop, but now I feel like nowadays the only thing I listen to is like pop and hip hop, like some Latin music. I do think indie has gotten a lot more popular. I mean, there's so many obviously like different versions of indie, but I
true.
definitely think my music has shifted a lot since I was young.
Yeah, that's true.
I think for me, yeah, it's kind of all over the place too. I really listen to just about anything and everything. Well, mostly everything. I don't listen to pop as much just because, I don't know. Pop, like 2000s stuff was all right. And then as it digressed, quite literally digressed, it just didn't become, I don't know. It's hard for me to listen through it because it's just all, I don't know, just all sounds
All
the
the
same to me. But for me, I'm kind of all over the place. I do like rock and hard rock as well as 90s hip hop and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I know, which is totally uncharacteristic to me, skinny looking dude with glasses, minus that, I do find it really interesting. But recently, because I've also been working on a senior project, I've been listening to Swiss folk music, which I know is like the most like out,
Whoa.
Niche thing on the planet. And, feel free to judge me. I know.
Swiss folk. Yeah, my music is all over the place. If you looked at my Spotify playlist, you would be like, we got some hardcore rock, like hardcore gym music, followed by classical jazz, followed by Broadway. It's all over the place. Because, I mean, since now I work at the radio station, I've had to listen to a lot of music that I didn't think I would listen to, especially jazz. Recently got into jazz.
You like jazz?
Oh
I
yeah,
like jazz.
La La Land put me on to jazz. No, I'm just messing. It didn't. But, yeah, no, jazz is so underrated. I feel like I don't know if any of you guys have been to like a live jazz club, but if you haven't, go. It's so cool to just eat food and sit there and just be entertained.
I wish I did. I went to New York and I had the opportunity to, but I didn't.
Gotta go back.
Yeah, I need to.
You blew it.
I feel like jazz, I think people think of it as only like, the ones you would see with, piano and those soulful singers. Jazz is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Like looking up, there's like, my favorite right now is Pat Metheny Group. They're my favorite. They're kind of more contemporary jazz, which is really cool. Kenny G, saxophone of the gods. There's just so much for jazz. Yeah.
Now I kind of want to start listening to jazz more.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I've never listened to jazz, so I might have to give it a shot.
She doesn't like George Michael.
George Michael's really good. That's true. Yeah. Since at the station, I actually do weekend jazz, so now I have to listen to a lot of jazz. So maybe you should listen to that if you want some jazz.
You need some smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
I've been on sea shanties
Oh my gosh!
for a
Yes.
bit.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. There's just something about them.
See?
Just like driving down the road listening to sea shanties. There's nothing like it.
What would you do with a drunken sailor?
Yeah, you're like hoisting the colors up on your car.
Speaking of pirates, I recently bought a Lego pirate ship.
Ooh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it was a
sick.
childhood dream of mine to own a Lego pirate ship, and I saw it at the Target like a few weeks ago. I was like, I have to do it. My bank account didn't like it, but I did it.
That was me a few years ago. I bought also kind of like a pirate ship as well, but it was a lot bigger. It was a pretty big one. Not going to go into the details. Yeah, my banking also was like, how dare you?
Why are they so expensive? I don't remember them being so expensive, but the prices just keep going up, and it's so annoying.
Oh.
Man, that's what I've been thinking with Pokemon cards.
Oh, I don't get me started. Last semester, I got really into Pokemon, or last fall, I got really into Pokemon cards for no reason, and I've spent way too much money on that.
Yeah, I've always loved them. But when I was on my mission, that's when I like actually started getting into collecting them
Oh, yeah.
because I was just so deprived for,
Fun.
just anything, and so I just started. I swear I probably spent around like $2,000
Jeez.
like
Yeah.
within a year on Pokemon cards.
Yeah, it's crazy. Pokemon can destroy your bank account real fast.
Oh yeah,
Why are hobbies so expensive in general?
Seriously, dude.
right. Why do we
It's
have to pay for the things we love?
Gosh, everything should just be free. Life would be so much easier.
You've been listening to The Spot, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. Today's hosts were,
Me, Robert Harris.
Jesse Pruitt.
Noah Timpson?
with special guest,
Nate Williams.
the views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university and are solely the opinions of the hosts. This episode was edited by Celeste Simmons, produces with the host with supervision by Brandon Isle. Our theme music is Finding Happiness by DJ Quads and The Perpetual Ticking of Time by Artificial Music. To listen to more episodes of The Spot, like and follow us on social media, or visit our website, byui.edu/radio, and click podcasts. Be sure to subscribe to the BYU-Idaho Radio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts. And also leave a review of the show and leave a comment on what we should talk about next.